Hello and welcome to Design Single Page Site Part 2. I am Kamran Vijdani, and in this video we will set up our right side content for our single page website. But before continuing, as usual, I'll request you to like the WatchMeCode Facebook page if you have not liked it already, and follow it. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, then please go and subscribe and click the bell icon to get the latest updates as soon as I release it. Let's go back to our local host. Yesterday we have created the navigation. We have added the navigation active state mode, tooltips, and all that. Let's start with our right side content. Let's go to our index.php and core.js and create one more class extends react.component, add render and add return. Inside return we will simply add div class name test for now. Now we should go to our wrapper and simply include the content class Now if we go to our localhost, Ctrl+Shift+I to open the developer console. Now we should go and if we reload, we have the test div from our content class. Now let's go to core.js, and inside content class we should check for constructor props, and let's add super props method, save it. Now we have a couple of methods to include our right side content. Either we should create one class for each component, and that is our home page or home section, profile section, one for the gallery and one for contact. Let's use the separate component method. Let's create a component and name it home page or home view, and add home dash view. Let's copy and paste, and let's call it profile view, and let's replace profile view class. Let's create one more component and call it gallery view, and give gallery view class. Create one more component and call it contact view, and add contact class. Save. Now let's go back to our app and let's add constructor props, super props, add this dot state equals view and add home view by default. Let's go back to inside our app class, let's create a method and call it getView. And inside getView, let's switch this .state.view, and inside the switch, let's add case home. Let's return home view. Inside case profile, we will simply return profile view. Now simply add curly bracket and let's call this .getView. Now if we save and go to our localhost and reload, inside our root we have home view by default, because inside state of our app class we have home inside view by default. Let's design the home view. Inside the home view, let's add go to CSS core.css and let's add .home view. And for home view, we should add a background color to RGBA or RGB 12192.185. This is our core theme color, and for home page, let's add the theme color. Now we should create one more class and call it content. Save it, go to core.js and add the content and the fixed class. Now go to localhost, reload, select the home view, and inside the content class we should add top to 0, left to 0, right to 0, and bottom to 0. Now if I quickly change the color, and as we have the navigation and it has 45 pixels, let's add 50 pixels from left, or maybe we should increase to, let's say 105 is good. And now we should add overflow X hidden and overflow Y to auto to each of the content. Now copy, let's go to core and add the copied content of CSS. Let's save it. Now we need to add the same for rest of our views, and that is profile view. Now we need to add gallery view, and we need to add contact view. Let's save it. Now if we go to localhost and reload, we have our wrapper, and inside we have home view. Now we need to switch over right side content view by clicking on our navigation, but as you have noticed, our tooltip is hidden inside our content. Let's select the navigation and add a Z index of 1, or to keep top on rest of our views, let's add 9 for now. Let's save this quickly inside our CSS file by adding Z index and add 9. Now if we click, we are not switching our state. Let's go to core.js and inside our navigation we have to call the setState method of app. Let's add a view method for set view and add a view param, and let's add this dot set state view to view, and we need to bind to the app's context. Let's call this dot set view equals this dot set view dot bind this. Now if we go to navigation and add a prop as a view or our method that is set view, we should call it switch view, and inside switch view we should call this dot set view. Now if we go to navigation and on click we have self.switch tab, and inside self.switch tab we should call this dot props dot switch view, and that is new tab. Now if we save and reload and let's click on our navigation, and now we have profile view. If you click on gallery, we are re-rendering the gallery view, and as we have not added the gallery view inside our switch statement, let's quickly add it. And call it gallery. Let's call it contact. We need to return inside here contact view, and we need to return gallery view. Let's save it. Now reload one more time, expand the wrapper, and if we click on profile we have profile view. If we click on gallery we have gallery view. If we click on contact we have contact view, and if we go to home we have home view. Let's quickly add the content and fixed class to each of our view. Content and fixed, content and fixed, content and fixed. Now we should add colors or background colors for our views. We should add colors to our views. If we click on profile let's give it a background of a nice green color. Copy and save it inside core.css. Now click on gallery and let's change the gallery color to something like orange. We can change it later. Let's add a nice bright color. Copy and save inside gallery view. And for our contact view, we should add a nice dark color. Copy and paste inside core.css and save it. Now if we reload, and we should change the color of our home view to our navigation background. Let's copy and paste inside our background color and replace it. Now if we reload, we have our home view, and we have our profile view, we have our gallery view, and we have our contact view. Now we need to animate these views somehow. So instead of just switching back and forth over views, let's animate the views. And as we have jQuery and transit, we will use the transit library. Let's select the content, and we should add transform translate y to, let's say, -10 pixels, and let's switch to a different color so that we can see what is going on. Now if we select the content, and let's, instead of 10 pixels, if we use width height, then it will use the actual width height of our available screen. Let's add -100 and it will go right off the screen. We should add 110. One more way to add a negative width height is to use percentage. Now if we go to transform translate y and add -10%, it will do the same effect. Let's use the percentage for now. Copy now we have to decide how we want to animate our content view. Either we need to animate or slide down it from top. We can animate it by sliding it from right or left, or we can actually animate in a way when we click on a view, the current view should slide out of the window and the next view should slide from right side to left side of the window. Now first of all, we should add hold on, I should quickly go to Da, 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 da. Well, you have to wait a couple of more minutes. I have to reply somebody. Okay, well, let's try out with the component did update to inside our app, and let's check component did update, and let's console the log for now updated. Now if we go and save, and we should switch to console, and if we click on profile, it will call updated. If we click one more time, it will call updated. Now we should check for the updated component, and we should call the transit method. And the transit library, let's search it, transit, and it has nice animations for jQuery, and we should animate it out of the screen. So let's call it dollar dot content dot transition, and we need to animate our X, and our X will be, if we go to console and let's use window.height, or we should add screen.height, it will add 768. If we use screen.width, it will give us our monitor res. Now if we add window dot, or let's call the jQuery function of $window dot width, it will add width, and if we call $window dot height, it will give us the available height. Now we should use $window dot width -200, and we should wrap it with a negative parentheses, and we should add duration of, let's say, 300. And if we save and reload, and let's click on the profile, now our view is animated to the negative. Instead we will use a positive instead of negative. Save and reload. Let's click one more time. Now our view is animated from left to right, but instead of negative we should add a positive value. Let's add plus. Now if we save and reload one more time, now we have view to slide it to right, and we should add one more transition to zero, and it will bring back the view. If we click on profile, it will animate to right, and it will animate back to left. Now click on gallery, but we need to shift the color after we have moved our content view out of the screen, instead of just switching and showing a bad impact to the user interface. Let's go to our set state or set view. Let's call the content transition method, and let's add complete and inside complete method we should use transition or this dot set state. Now instead of using this, we should declare the self equals this, and here we should call self dot set state. Now inside component did update, let's call the last transition. Save and reload. Now if we go and click profile, the view will go out of the view or window and will animate back. Now click. Now if we go and add duration to, let's say, 1000 milliseconds, we give it a smooth animation. Now if we click on a view, inspect, and we have translate to 0 and 0, and if we click one more time, we have translate from right to left. As we are clicking on our home, we are getting no effect because our content window for home view, the color is same. Let's change the color for now. Select it and update it inside core.css. Let's save it and reload. Now if we click on profile, the view will switch nicely. We should add one more transition to same value as we are using right here and give it duration to 0, and then we will animate it back to our x0. Save and click on profile, and we have a nice smooth transition. Now if we click on gallery, we can add the same duration of, let's say, 500 and 500 right here. Save and reload, and now we have a nice smooth animation, and it is showing as we are sliding off and sliding in a different view. Great, everything is working perfectly. Now we need to add content inside our views. Let's add an icon. Let's go to ICO, click on selection, and we should select a nice color or icon for our home page, and let's select this tag and select generate font to get the updated link from our ICO. Wait for the link to get generated. Click copy, go to index.php and replace the new link. Save, and let's go back to core.js, and inside the home view we should add div class name called icon, and the icon is colors, COLOURS, and let's call it ICO, and we should need the lorem ipsum text. Let's go to localhost and search for lorem ipsum $Amit, and let's select the paragraph. Let's add inside a paragraph tag, and let's call it detail. Save, and we should add font N as well. Now if we go to .content.ico and .content.detail, save, and let's go back to localhost and reload. And now we have a nice dummy content inside our window. Now select the icon, select the content, and let's add padding of 50 pixels to our content. Save quickly inside core.css, go back to localhost. Now inside the home view we need to change the color to white, text align to center, copy and paste inside the home view and save it. Now go to localhost and reload. Now we need to change the font size for our icon. Select it and give it a font size of, let's say we should add 110 pixels. We should add margin bottom to 10 pixels or 20. Copy and save inside core.css. Now we should select the detail and we should add a width of, let's say, 600 pixels, add a margin 0 auto, and we are good for now. Let's save it and reload. And now we have a nice content inside our home view. Now if we select profile, we are switching the profile view. Go back to home and we are switching to home view. Great. Now we should add a placeholder for our profile view. Let's add an image div, class name, and call it dp. Give it rel, and inside div we should add an image, or let's remove it for now. We need to add title or username, and let's add the ending tag right inside our username because we are creating the placeholder. Let's duplicate the username and add about. Save it, go to core.css and let's move the content to home view, and inside of home view let's call home view and replace the content to home view. Now inside profile view add dp, add username and add about. Save and reload. Let's open the developer console, select the profile view, go to elements and expand the profile view, select the dp, and let's add a width of 100 pixels and height of 100 pixels. Add a background of white. Add a border radius of 50 pixels, or you should increase it to 120 to 120 and radius to 60 pixels. Now add margin 0 auto, and let's change the opacity to a lighter 0.26. Copy and paste inside DP. Select the username and paste the same CSS, and let's change the width to 200, height to 25, and add the margin to top 15 pixels, right auto, 0 for bottom and auto for left. Let's increase the top margin. Copy and paste inside username, and inside about paste the same CSS and add top margin to 12, change height to 20 and select width to 150. Copy and let's paste inside the about. Now we have a placeholder for our profile view. Now click on profile and we have nice content placeholder, and click back to home and we have nice placeholder for our home page. Now we need to add the gallery view, and let's create a quick placeholder for our gallery view. Let's create a variable and call it list and give it a type of array. Run a loop for I equals 0, I is less than let's call 15, I plus plus, and we should create a method of, let's say, item, and we should return div class name to photo rel and add a IBL. Now we should push list.push this dot item, and let's pass the I and use the I as key, and add key equals gallery item dash plus I. Now we should include the list. Save. Now go back to core.css, and inside the gallery view let's declare the photo dot photo, and inside photo we should save and go back to localhost and reload. Switch to gallery view and we have an error. Switch to console view and it is calling reference I is not defined. Let's go to core.js and add a var. Reload. Switch to gallery view, go to elements and expand the root wrapper and the gallery view and select photo. I guess we have some, add a W right here. Reload, go to gallery, now expand and select the photo, and let's add width of 200 pixels, height of, let's say, 120 pixels, a background of white and a margin of 10, or reduce the margin to, let's say, 5 pixels. Add a nice border radius of 5 pixels, or you should reduce it to let's say, okay, 2 is good, and change the opacity. Okay, we are good to go. Now select and paste inside our core.css and save it. Now if we go to gallery view, and we should add align items to center or text line to center. Now the gallery is now center aligned. Copy and paste inside gallery view. And we have a nice placeholder for gallery as well. Now we need to add the contact form. Let's add it quickly. Add h1 or h2 class name equals content title, add font L, and add contact us. Add input type equals text, placeholder will be full name, and add a class name of input, add font N, duplicate and add email, duplicate one more time and add subject, duplicate, and now we need to add text area, and inside text area we will add message. Save, add one more time and call it button, and let's use submit. Inside button we should add a class name of btn and font B. Let's save and go to core.css. Inside contact view we should add input.input, and we should add text area.input, and we should add a global input as well, and we should add dot button as well, and hover state. Save. We need to add a wrapper for our form. Div class name equals form, and select all the content and hit tab. Save and reload. Now we have a nice form inside our contact. Inside contact we should inspect and select the content title. I forgot to add its CSS content view dot content title. Save and reload. Now switch to contact, select the title, content title, content, and it is actually contact view. Reload, switch to contact, select the content title, and let's call it color white, font size to 36 pixels. Copy and paste right inside core.css and save. Now let's select the input and give it a width of 100%, and select border to 0 pixels and margin to 10 pixels or less, 6 pixels vertically. Add a padding of 10 pixels, add border radius of 5 pixels or maybe 2 pixels is good. Now add outline to none and add a background of 555. Add color to white. Now copy and paste inside contact view input. Now select the text area and give a height of 200 pixels to give it some more room, select height, paste, select the button, and inside button let's switch our dog to right. Now select the button, side button we should add width to 200 pixels and border to 0, and a background to our theme color. Let's say we call it blue. Click and pick a sample, give it a color of white, border radius to 2 pixels and a padding of 10 pixels, and add margin top 10 pixels or 20. Now give it a font size of, well, let's say 16, and we should use font N instead of font B. Now add cursor to pointer, add outline to none. Now copy and paste inside CSS and save. Now if we click on background and change a color and copy just the background and paste inside button hover state, and let's reload it, switch to contact, and we have a nice form. Now we can type and we can mouse hover. Let's switch font B to font N and select the contact us title and give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels. Save inside CSS, margin bottom to 20 pixels. Now if we switch our dog to bottom, the contact form is taking the entire screen. Let's select the form, and I guess I have not added the CSS content of contact view dot form. Save and reload. Now select the contact, navigation, inspect, select the form and give it a width of 700 pixels and add margin 0 and auto. Now let's save and add inside CSS and save. Now let's reload, and we have home, profile, gallery and contact. We have the structure ready to use for our one-page website. This is it for this video, and in next video we will set up the actual content for our each view. Before leaving, I would like to request one more time, if you have not liked our Facebook page, please like it and follow it and share it with your friends. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe and click the bell icon so that you can get updates. Thanks and bye.